This report is based on a news story that was actually covered by the media.
In 1968, Japan was in the midst of rapid economic growth. At that time, salary payment practices were very different from those of today. Bank transfers were not yet common. In many companies, senior staff would collect large sums of cash and distribute wages or bonuses directly to employees by hand. Because of this system, transporting large amounts of cash at once was not considered unusual. It was within this social and economic context that what later became known as a 300 million yen incident occurred, one of Japan's most famous unsolved crimes. The incident took place in a suburban area of Tokyo. A company was scheduled to receive cash bonuses for its employees, and a total of 300 million yen was being transported from a financial institution to the company. At the fixed exchange rate of the time, 360 yen to the US dollar. This amount was equivalent to approximately 830,000 US dollars. While exact comparisons are difficult, this sum would correspond to several $million today. The cash was being transported in a vehicle accompanied by security personnel. During the journey, the vehicle was stopped by a man posing as a police motorcycle officer. His uniform, helmet, and radio equipment appeared authentic, and those present believed him to be a genuine police officer. The man warned that an explosive device might have been attached to the vehicle. When a guard checked underneath, smoke appeared. Fearing an explosion, the guards moved away from the vehicle. At that moment, the suspect seized a transport vehicle and drove off with the 300 million yen. No weapons were used, and no one was physically harmed. News of the crime spread rapidly across Japan and caused a major public shock. The combination of impersonating the police, stealing an enormous amount of cash, and carry out the crime without violence captured nationwide attention. Police launched a massive investigation, reportedly involving more than 100,000 personnel. During the investigation, physical evidence such as a motorcycle believed to be connected to crime was discovered. However, the motorcycle turned out to be a stolen vehicle, which meant it could not be traced back to the perpetrator. It was also recorded that the suspect appeared to have been wearing gloves, and as a result, no usable fingerprints were recovered from the scene or the vehicle. Other tools and items linked to the crime were found, but none provided evidence that could directly identify the individual responsible. Because of these limitations, investigators were unable to narrow the case down to a single suspect. Various possibilities were examined, including the involvement of insiders, as well as whether crime was committed by one person or multiple individuals. However, the available evidence did not allow police to draw a definitive conclusion. As time passed, the investigation reached a dead end. 7 years after the incident, the statute of limitations expired. The perpetrator was never prosecuted, and the case officially remained unsolved. What can be stated with certainty is that the crime was highly planned and carefully executed. The use of a stolen vehicle, the impersonation of a police officer, and the measures taken to avoid leaving fingerprints indicate preparation rather than chance. The incident also had a lasting impact on Japanese society. Procedures for cash transportation and security were reviewed, and salary payment systems gradually shifted towards safer methods, such as bank transfers. A single crime prompted broader changes in social systems. More than half a century later, the 300 million yen incident is still remembered as one of Japan's most famous unsolved cases. It is not remembered because of unanswered speculation, but because no decisive link between the evidence and the perpetrator was ever established. What remains in the historical record is a carefully executed crime, and the fact that no one was ever caught. The 300 million yen incident continues to be discussed as a case that reflects both the social structure and investigative limitations of its time.
Many things are happening around the world every day, and unexpected events may occur in our own lives as well. We hope to see you again in our next story.